Welcome. Good evening. Hello, Gemstones. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you being here. I hope you've had a wonderful week. I know the weather's been crazy everywhere you go. It doesn't matter if it's way too hot or it's way too cold. It's just been absolutely insane. We've had storms rolling through here every couple of days that's had me having a rough time, having a rough time. But I have learned to kind of ride the wave, and I hope that all of you are able to do the same. Um, so tonight we're gonna try to keep up with sort of a standard, a way of doing things. I'm going to start out. I'll do some sage. I'll light our candle. Tonight I want to talk about love because we've got Valentine's Day right around the corner. And love comes in so many different ways. So let's dive into all the different ways that we can show love for ourselves, we can show love for others, how we can attract love, and how we can deal with passion and live with passion and bring more passion into our lives in all its many ways. So let me get our sage. I'm going to get my smudge pot. Welcome in, everybody. I hope that you're having a wonderful week. I do my best since I am disabled. I am at home all the time, um, to make the rounds to all the different chat rooms and different shows and show support for this community. There's a whole lot of us out there, um, in the paranormal, supernatural community that we're just kind of we're looking for self-love. We're looking for that, excuse me, that companionship, that understanding that maybe we're not getting in our everyday lives, that we've found maybe on YouTube in the communities here. So I'm going to light our sage. Actually, I'm going to do it a little differently. I've got my little smudge pot here. And what I like to do sometimes is I'll start out with just a leaf of white sage. This is California white sage. Okay. Now, if you're doing any type of sacred smoke for cleansing and clearing, um, well, yeah, you could use cooking sage even in a pinch. Trust me, kitchen witch, know it, done it. California white sage is considered the most sacred. And so when I'm doing this for all of us, that's what I like to use. But you can also use, and I do on occasion use, uh, wild desert sage. It works nicely as well. Waved hi to my husband as he goes by. And so I'm going to light sage. And so when I do it, this is actually great for also if you're traveling or just like you're getting ready to enter a space and you want to do a little bit of sage for yourself, but you don't want to have a whole bunch going. Um, just lighting that single leaf of sage. I'm going to do that for all of you. And then a little bit for myself. And I like to try to smudge sage my whole body and let the smoke cleanse and clear. I'll try to pull it around behind me. And then I'm going to just put it in my smudge pot and let it do its thing. And that way, as I set it on the table, it'll smudge and clear all of my tools that I've got set out in front of me. Um, I have a new candle. A couple of weeks ago, my husband and I, we actually had gone down to Albuquerque with the intention of going to the Albuquerque Comic Con. Now, I was totally shocked when I kind of threw it out there, the idea of going, and that one of my favorite actors, many of yours, um, Christopher Lloyd, was going to be there. And he is best known as Doc Brown from the Back to the Future series. But I've actually been familiar with him since way back. There was a television series called Taxi, and he played Reverend Jim. And I absolutely love that character. Absolutely love it. So we went down. We intended to go. We got there, and the traffic just to get into the parking was backed up for blocks. There was no way. It was going to take, a minimum of an hour to get in. And rather than be disappointed and make a to do over it and all of that, I looked at my husband and I said, well, why don't we, you know, go find something else to do? Let's just go have fun. We're out of the house, we're in another town. So we went to the Natural History Museum, which, if you follow me on my Facebook page, I even posted a couple of pictures, including they've got this absolutely fantastic animatronic, uh, not a T Rex, I can't remember the name of it, dinosaur in their main lobby that, like, every 15 minutes we'll do a full range of things, including roaring. And so I've got a little clip of that on there. And then from there, it's just like 2 blocks away is Old Town Albuquerque. And you'll have to forgive me because I don't know my Albuquerque and New Mexico history as well as I should. But basically, it's the center area of when people first settled into Albuquerque, where the main area of town was. There's a beautiful church, all these wonderful little shops, adobe buildings. And one of the places I stopped in was actually a little bookstore that sold a whole series of books written by local artists, as well as had a few products made by people within the Albuquerque and New Mexico region. And one of those is, I'm going to give them a shout out because I absolutely cannot get enough of this candle. So the company's name is Endeavor Candles and Scents. And there's the label. Okay. He's actually got both candles and essential oils, and he is it's fared as an autism owned business. This young man has um, autism and started his business, and his candles are absolutely amazing. This one is Rose and Oud, O-U-D, Oud. And its label says passionate, natural, and woodsy. Okay. That rose and oud are both herbs known for their association with passion, with love. Um, and I think we all need just a little bit more of that in our lives. So that's the candle I'm going to light tonight, with the intention that we all find love in the ways that we need it, whether that's love for self or love for our environment, love for our job, our family, um, love for life. I know that with all of the insanity going on, that sometimes we kind of lose track of that and how how to go forward, how to find that love, how to reignite that love. So that's what our candle is for tonight. So I'm going to just take a moment of silence and ask guides and guardians to come forth and help us find that passion, that love that we all need. In love and light only, we thank you. And then I have a new toy. So last year, I, excuse me, gotta get this out of the way. I finished the year and received my certificates in sound healing, in second level of crystal masters, and in spiritual healing and teaching, if you will. One of the things that I did for myself was I got myself a graduation gift. And it is a beautiful hand turned, handheld singing bowl with a bamboo handle. And it came with a beautiful black velvet, actually satin pillow for it to rest upon, along with the striker, which I actually have a different one here because I wanted it to be just a little bit softer. And so this striker is made out of acacia wood and it has just a little bit of um, suede wrapped around the top. I'm hoping that the phone will allow the sound vibration to come through as beautifully as it does in the space. But I have just been in absolute love with this and the sound that it brings. And it just, it shifts that energy in the room and how I feel and is very uplifting. And so I'm going to strike it and then I'm going to pass it in front of my camera and hopefully you all will be able to hear it. But even so, that vibration, the energy of that vibration will reach you on a cellular level. And what amazes me is it's still going. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I actually timed it, and almost 2 minutes later, if you're sitting next to it, you can still hear it vibrating. And it's just so beautiful, so energizing. It just kind of gets the mood going. The other thing that I've been doing, and I'm going to drum just a tiny bit, is I have a whole bunch, sorry about the shaking camera, of different drums. And I wanted to show you one of them in particular. This is my lap drum, my little one, my little sacred goddess drum. And the back of it it is strapped so that you can easily hold it. And it's just got such a beautiful tone to it. And one of the things that I want to do, and so I need all of you to, whether you put it in the chat now, because I'll go back and rewatch and read those comments, or you come back later and comment, let me know if you would like me to do a little bit of drumming and maybe take you on a sacred journey meditation. It's something that I've been actually doing for myself. Let's see if I can play this just a little bit. And so I really want to get back into drumming. It's something that I've actually done off and on for 40 years-ish. I got into it when I was very young, through the medieval recreations group that I belong to. And I have this one, I have a slightly larger one, I have a full-size bodhrán, which is the Irish drum. I also have various sizes of what's known as a doumbek or a doumbala, for Middle Eastern drumming. And so I would absolutely love to maybe take you on a sacred journey meditation with the drums if that's something that all of you are interested in. So, please, whether you put it in the comments, in the chat, or afterwards, let me know what you think. I do read those. And on that note, to each and every one of you and all of the beautiful, kind things that you say to me, you lift me up. And I love you and I appreciate you. It sometimes is very hard when you're all alone, um, and not knowing when you want to make a difference if you really are. And so, on behalf of myself, on behalf of Gemma, on behalf of Ghost Dragon, thank you. Thank you all for being here. I did pull some stones and some cards that I thought were appropriate for love and passion and the upcoming St. Valentine's Day. And so I thought I would start with a mover and shaker. Okay. Orange calcite is sometimes in the crystal healers circle known as Viagra in rock form. Okay. It's often recommended if you're trying to spice things up in your relationship, get things going again, to have orange calcite in your bedroom. If you're just wanting to get a good night's sleep, you don't want it in there. Because whether you have someone special or not, let's just say it can be very inspiring. So, orange calcite is a stone of endurance, charisma, and sexual stamina. It is the crystal aphrodisiac that resonates with the sacral chakra and powerfully magnetizes creativity and passion, which is part of why I pulled this stone and I've been working with it for creativity and passion. This gem enhances your ability to enjoy the process of creation and celebrate all that you birth in the world. Let that sink in. because I think too often we don't do that. We don't celebrate ourselves. We think it's selfish. Others tell us, oh, you're self centered. No, I am self loving. The affirmation for this card and this stone is I embrace pleasure and passion and I enjoy my sensuality fully. So, whether you take that as sensuality with someone else or just being sensual, I know that you can all think about their, actors and actresses, musicians and performers out there that you can tell that they have and they own their own sensuality. That when they let it loose, they it just drips from them, and you're just like, ooh, that's juicy. Okay, don't be afraid to embrace your sensuality because that's also a form of self love. We'll look in the mirror and go, God, you know, oh my gosh, those dark circles under my eyes. I've always hated those. I've had them my whole life, and oh, look, I've got a little bit of wrinkles going on there. And we start picking ourselves apart instead of loving ourselves and lifting ourselves up for the things that we do appreciate. We need to talk to ourselves exactly the same way we would our best friend in the entire universe. And so when you look at yourself in the mirror and that's your best friend that's standing there looking back at you, how are you going to talk to them? Are you going to tell them that, oh, God, those bags under your eyes, they're just awful. They're ugly. Or are you going to look at them and say, you know what? Your eyes, they just sparkle. And I love the way your hair is looking. It's so vibrant, it's so beautiful, and your smile. Love yourself. Show passion for yourself. It's not self it's not selfish, it's self-care. Because if we feel more positive about ourselves, that positivity affects everyone around us and becomes infectious to everyone around us. Think about it. You're with friends, and all of a sudden one person starts laughing, and next thing you know, the whole group of you is laughing because that positive energy, that positivity is infectious and it's good. So the next thing that I pulled was pyrite. I actually happen to be lucky enough. I've got a couple of really big, wonderful, sparkly pieces of pyrite. I also have some little fine chipstones of pyrite that I have in a little bottle. But pyrite, it's the stone of possibility. It's you know, it's about wealth and abundance and attracting that, but it's about that possibility of doing so and all the ways that it can come in. So pyrite is a glittering stone of potential and possibility. It reminds you of your self-worth and encourages you to shine in your power. Pyrite activates the solar plexus chakra, symbolizing action, vitality, and willpower. It also enlivens your self-image and connects you to the warmth of the sun. And its affirmation is, I shine in all areas of my life. I like that. I actually think I'm going to take this card and I'm going to put it on my mirror and keep it there for a few days to remind myself to shine. So, think about a little piece of pyrite in your pocket, carry it with you, and have it remind you to pull that warmth, that love, that self passion in. Lastly, I pulled amazonite. So, I know you've heard me talk about, blue stones are for the throat chakra and speaking your truth. Well, speaking your truth about self worth and being positive about it, you know, is an important thing. And a lot of us have blockages in doing that. And so this little pie has that. I can't speak at the moment. Amazonite heart has actually got little bits, and I don't know if you can see it, of sparkles of pyrite in the stone. So it's kind of a two for one, if you will. Amazonite is a throat chakra stone that encourages speaking your truth with confidence. It heals unhealthy communication patterns, like talking down to yourself, um, and assists you in having those difficult situations with ease. So whether that's with yourself or with a spouse, a friend, a coworker, it can help you to do it in a compassionate way. And that's something I'm going to touch base on. So, what is the most healing stone? Okay, Nicole. So, it would also depend on what type of healing are you seeking? Are you seeking healing for your body? Um, do you have back pain? Are you seeking heart healing? Are you seeking healing for a specific body part or in a relationship? So type type in what it is that you're looking for in a healing stone, and I'll try to answer that for you. So with amazonite, its affirmation is I express my truth freely and I communicate with ease and confidence. Okay, so both. All right. So, well, this one right here, which is the last one that I pulled out, is always a good one to start with, and that's rose quartz. Okay, this is a rose quartz sphere, and unfortunately, I don't think my lighting will do it justice, but it's actually a really juicy, almost a bubblegum pink, this particular rose quartz. This one is rose quartz from Brazil, and rose quartz, the first thing we think about is is love and love in all its forms, whether it's self-love, love for family, love for a situation or a place. So rose quartz is the mother of all love stones, perfect for heart healing and manifesting all kinds of love. Broken heart syndrome, yep. So I would start with rose quartz, and it is considered the universal stone of peace and love, love for self, for others, and all creation. Rose quartz opens the heart chakra, reawakens trust, and dissolves negative energies. Um, I am worthy of love and open to giving and receiving it with ease. So, I mean, rose quartz is one of those. we kind of take it for granted because it is one of the most common of all the quartz crystals out there. But rose quartz is also one of the most beneficial, and especially when it comes to healing the heart, healing our love, healing our passion, whether it's for ourselves or someone else, situation, a place. Um, so I would start with rose quartz, and it doesn't have to be a huge piece. It could be, a small tumble. Get yourself a piece of rose quartz, carry it with you. So when you're working with crystals, when you're working with stones, remember what I say about your body's energetic field, the toroidal field, which you can go on, you can Google it. It's our body's natural energetic field that comes out of the top of our head and comes out. It almost looks like a donut and comes back in and through our feet. And that energy in all directions surrounds us. Now, the field itself, say for instance, when I reach my arms out, it still will radiate out about 12 inches in all directions. Keep, keep your stone within that energetic field. So it can be as simple as, having it on the table next to you or putting it in your pocket. Personally, if I'm really feeling like I need to connect with that stone, I either wear it next to my skin or, depending on the stone, I'll sleep with it under my pillow. Now, certain stones and certain crystal healers will say, don't don't put them under your pillow, don't sleep with them next to your bed because they're very high vibration stones and you're not going to sleep very well. Now, with um, straight quartz, I find that's very true. I find that because just plain clear quartz, grab my other little sphere here, plain clear quartz is an amplifier. Okay. Um, so it'll amplify whatever energies are around it. With rose quartz, because of its vibration, it radiates that gentle love, that self love, that peaceful love. Okay, so I would recommend that. And then, honestly, for what you're talking about, let me see if I can pull the card for it. I would also recommend amethyst because amethyst, not only is it the stone of, and this is debated by some crystal healers, but it's, associated with the crown chakra. Okay, so that point at which energy either enters or leaves your chakra system, um, it can help ease the flow of the energy you're trying to attract, whether that's energy for physical healing, energy for gentle love, for relationship, so on. There we go. So amethyst. So I'm going to read you the card, okay? And I'll pull a stone for you to look at here in just a moment. Amethyst is a violet ray gem that brings divine energies of protection, mercy, love, forgiveness, freedom, and transformation. This stone resonates with the crown chakra and opens you to divine wisdom, a spiritual evolution. Amethyst is your ally in releasing energetic blockages, which can cause physical illness, as well as emotional blockages and illness. It can help in releasing those energetic blockages and restore balance, well being, and peace of mind. And its affirmation is, I am divinely connected to Source. And there's its card. And as you can probably guess, amethyst has been and always shall be my favorite stone, which is why there's never a piece of amethyst too far away from my reach. And so I've got a nice bit of amethyst geode here. Again, amethyst, because of its energies and the way it resonates, have just a little piece. Even just the tiniest little piece off of something like this and kept near yourself, slid under your pillow, will help you to balance your chakras, to release and bring in those positive energies that you're looking for healing of both self love and self physical form. I hope that makes sense. If you have more questions about that, type them in all capital letters because y'all know old Pixie, she doesn't see too well on this little screen. Eventually, I swear by all the gods that I will get my computer set up so that I can stream from it. Um, but in the meantime, get yourself a little piece of amethyst. Also, gemstones. If you are wanting a little bit more one on one personal guidance when it comes to what stones do I work with? What energies do I work with? And I don't care whether you are someone who prefers the Judeo-Christian God or you're someone who loves the Egyptian pantheon, the old pagan gods. You know, I find value and love in all of them. And I think all of you do as well. And so I am and have just recently opened up, I post on my Facebook page that I am offering readings starting out 30-minute reading. I'll pull a couple of cards for you. If you've got questions, I'll answer questions. I will tap in to your energies and the energies from your guides, your guardians, to help you both receive messages and give you guidance and answers to help you navigate this wonderful 3D world. So whether it's, what stone do I use, Lara? Hey Pixie, I had this strange dream. Can you help me understand it? Or, how do I more subtly connect with my angels or my guides, my guardians? I'm willing to help you work through all of that. And that's what my classes and diligence has been the last 3 years, to be able to take all of this knowledge, bring it forward, and help all of you. I am asking to get paid, and I know some people have a problem with that. None of my gemstones, don't worry, I'm not pointing a finger at any of you, but there are those in various communities that, well, why won't you just do this for free? Because it takes a lot out of me. I tap in while I'm not using my own energy to channel messages for you. It still taps my energy. And I am also giving you a service from the knowledge that I have learned over the last for years as well as my lifetime of experience with these things. And the same goes for Gemma and any other medium or spiritual advisor, crystal healer. They all deserve to be compensated. It's an exchange. Now, that said, while I'm asking for a small fee, $20 for 30 minutes, 35 if I do a full hour, I know some of us, I'm one included, I don't necessarily always have a lot of money. I'm willing to work out a trade, and I'm also willing to, if you just have a simple question, like you want to know, hey, you talked about calcite. Could you tell me a little bit more about calcite and ways that I can work with it? You know what? You can message me and I'll answer you because that's the way I am. It's what I do. I want to help other people. I want to leave a positive, energetic impact on this world. One of my favorite sayings is pay it forward. So if I can take all of the wonderful things that I've learned, all of the kindnesses that I've received, all of the love that I've been given, and pay it forward and make an impact on somebody else, and then that person pays it forward and makes a little impact on somebody else. That's how we change things. That's how we raise our vibration. That's how we change the planet and our universe. Pay it forward. Let's see. Other things that I wanted to talk about. Passion and the many ways that it can come in. So, passion with our minds being adults, Pixie, you have every right to charge for your services. Kira, bless you. Thank you for saying that. Because sometimes we, me, a lot of us who do this have that little voice in the back of our head going, you know, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just give it away. But then after a while, what is there? So thank you for saying that, Kira. Love you, darling. I'm sad that I won't be able to see you in Reno, but I will be having a blast on my other trip, and I'll share it with you. So when we think of passion, there's a lot of ways that passion can come in. For myself, I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna be down to earth with you. This is just you and me sitting on my couch, and we're having a conversation, um, eating some chocolate. And I had physical issues in my youth. Aw. I had ovarian cysts constantly in my youth. I started menstruating when I was 9 years old. Doctors actually think that's part of why I have a form of dwarfism, or that vice versa, that the fact that I am so tiny had something to do with my early start. But I was having ovarian cysts, so it threw me into having a lot of pain and discomfort. So When I got into my more mature years, one, my husband and I, we sat down, we made the decision. If we wanted to have kids, we would adopt, because I had too many health issues, and we were concerned both for my health and the health of any child that we might bring forward. And we also both agreed that we we're a little different, and we've been wonderful um, pet parents ever since. That said, I was thrown into early menopause because I had a hysterectomy. And the one thing that comes with that is a decrease in desire. That doesn't mean it goes away, but it's diminished. And so I had to learn to compensate. With passion, it can be just being with that person. It doesn't have to be on an intimate level. And I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to be delicate for YouTube and be polite. No, baby, I love you so much. I found that we could do things together, whether it's playing cards, going to a movie, going on a hike, finding other ways to bring passion and still keep a balance when there was a loss, a diminishment of physical passion. Now, I also had that completely disappear when, and some, I don't talk about it a lot, but my husband actually was diagnosed 49 with prostate cancer. He went from being showing no signs of cancer, and thank you to his doctor for early testing. He started his patients testing at 45 instead of 50, and because he did that, they caught the cancer. But so the numbers that they go on, he was 0, and then 1 year later it was at a 7, which is like deadly dangerous. So in 2012 or 2011, he had to have his prostate removed. When they do that, it cuts, it severs all the nerves. So I had to go through a whole another scale of how do I cope with this? Now, my husband's actually 8 years older than me. How do I cope with this? And okay, I have desire, but how do we find that balance? And again, it goes back to bringing up, bringing that love in different ways and learning to think about it in different ways. Of, okay, I can be okay with us just sitting side by side, holding hands. As I told him when he went in for the surgery, I would rather have him than a relationship. And so passion can be also for our job, our life, and what do we do? I have found in the last year that all of you and this community has become my passion. And being able to love and support all of you and lift you up and bring you together. Finding this person who watches this podcast and introducing to this person who watches this podcast and weaving a web of unity between all of us, because even though sometimes we may use a different language in how we describe something, I call it a ghost, I call it a spirit. At its root, we're all speaking the same language. And so I feel like I'm on my life's path, and it's thanks to all of you and your love and support. With that said, I'm going to pull a card for the gemstones for the next couple of weeks and the energies coming in and what we should look for. And before I do that, I just want to touch base on a couple of things. Gemma is not going to be doing her normal oracle card reading this week because she has some other things going on she needs to take care of. However, Stephen Ghost Dragons has said he will be doing the Gemma Rewind, and he will put out a post. He doesn't know if he's going to do it Friday night or Saturday night, but he will put out a post. So just kind of watch for that and watch your notifications on YouTube. Monday, Gemma is going to be on the Paranormal 60 podcast with Dave Schrader again. And she's going to be on at 11 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about her latest books, both The Danger at Your Doorstep, um, Encounters with Black-Eyed Kids, and its companion book. So if you could go and subscribe to Paranormal 60 on YouTube and set your notification bell and come join us over there. I'll be there in the chat. Just like Gemma, I am a big fangirl of Dave. He's also a very sweet human being, and while maybe not a close friend yet, I'm happy to call him a friend. He's a good person. So please come join her over there. And then next week we'll kind of go back to normal. I will be off that week, and then I'll be back on the following week. So I'm going to pull a card for us from, I decided to pull out my Sacred Forest Oracle. Love these. So pretty. The imagery is beautiful. It comes in a very nice box set. And it has a, some of the Oracle decks come with a little bitty, uh, thin book. No, not this one. It comes with a nice thick book. And so I'm going to pull from it, and its cards are just, I'm going to just show you one right there. Its cards are just beautiful. So I really hope that all of you are liking the format that I'm doing. Let me know in the comments or after the show. Also, let me know if there's a subject you'd like me to talk about. Well, yes, I really like and I'm happy to do the more spiritual based discussions. If you've seen me in any of the other chat rooms, you know I'm a ghost girl. I love me some paranormal stuff. I love UFOs. Because I'm an experiencer. Never met a Bigfoot yet, but boy, would I love to at least see one someday. To me, they are the forest people. Um, and of course, with a name like Pixie, I love fairy folk. and the legends and stories behind them. So if there's any of that you would like me to bring forward and talk about, I'm hearing seven. So seven cards, seven cats, seven cards. All right. So one, two, I count, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Seventh card. Yes. Okay. Seventh card. I like this one. So it is the spirit guardian of autumn and letting go. Beautiful card. And so you all know I read them a little differently. I'll pull out the book since we've got a few minutes. But when I look at this card and think about the energies of the week coming up, I mean, of course, the first thing I'm drawn to is, all these beautiful flowers here at the bottom. Valentine's Day and passion. But letting go of those preconceived notions of how love will come in. I know there's some of you out there that you're looking for very specific things in a relationship, and you're saying, I want this person to come into my life. I want my soulmate. But sometimes you've got to remember you need to let go and make room for those new things to have a place to come in and come into being. And it may be that you've got, well, I kind of still love that person, even though they've moved on, and letting go. Let go so that you can welcome in new passion. And notice the position of her arms. So she's got her left hand up and her right hand down. And that's actually a meditation pose. So her left hand is receiving energy from spirit, from the universe, and her right hand, palm up, is sending it out. And she's sending out love. She's receiving it from source and sending it out. So just think about that. Think about for the next couple of weeks what you need to let go of to make room for that love, and what love you need to send out to bring in new love. I hope you enjoyed it. I always do. I love my little time with all of you. Eventually, I'd like to get to where maybe some of you would like to come on and we could have conversations because, well, I've gotten to where I'm fairly comfortable talking to the camera and so on. I'd love to be able to talk with all of you one on one. With that said, I'm going to head out for the night and send light and love and passion in all its forms to each and every one of you. Love and blessings, and have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.